roundabout and take the first exit, A1105. Reached your destination, 11 Cliff Road.
We're going on a bit of an adventure, or not. We have driven down about 60 miles from a meetup I was at yesterday, or today and yesterday. And I decided to come to the Humber Bridge. And you're probably asking yourself, why on earth would I want to come to the Humber Bridge? It's just this massive concrete construction going over this estuary, river, whatever it is. I need to look and see what the name of it is. And I don't know. I think first and foremost, I couldn't decide where to go, and I knew this was in the area, so I thought, let's go and have a look. I've been here before. I think I've been here a couple of times actually. But I've definitely never vlogged it, and I've never really taken pictures of it properly. So I thought I would see if I can get a sunset image with a little bit of colour from maybe that end, and then a sunrise image from around here with the light coming up from that side. I'm not particularly sure what or where or how. All I know is it's a massive thing, and I can only really get one tower in it unless I can get far enough away to get both the towers in. But it's huge. I will find some details out, and they will be going on the screen for you to see how long it is, how high it is. But this is a massive thing. You can see it from miles away. As I was driving in, you could see it along the road as I was driving in. It towers above everything. There is a toll to go across, so I'm going to have to pay the toll tomorrow because I need to be on the other side to drive home, because I think it's a long way from this side, but we'll see. And if I do drive across it tomorrow, I'll pull underneath it and have a shot underneath there as well, going looking back the other direction. I may even end up doing that tonight, I don't know. So this is where I am. I'm at the Humber Bridge, and I'm going to try and get a couple of shots of it. My dream is what Steve Stain's photography got a couple of years ago. And he was here, and the fog rolled in, and it was the ultimate perfection to perfection for photography. The towers were sticking at the top of the fog, and he got a couple of amazing photographs. If it happens, I will be buzzing. So let's see what happens, see what we can do, and I'll speak to you when I found a composition. I'm not going to take you with me, I'm just going to switch you on once I found something and got the camera out. Speak to you later. We are back on, and you're about to witness my first photo of the Humber Bridge taken on the colour camera. I had my XT1 out with the infrared conversion, having a walk around, trying to test some locations and some spots and to see what I've got on offer for me. And in all fairness, it was looking really rubbish earlier on, and I wasn't overly impressed, and I wasn't overly in the mood to come and take pictures. So I've been doing a bit of editing and stuff like that, and gradually what I found was, as the day went on, and excuse the tripod going a bit lower, as the day went on, the sky got clearer and clearer, and now the evening's looking quite pleasant. But it's a very difficult place to set up a location from, to get anything that I feel is really worth shooting, because you've got that parallax, whatever it is, with the wide angle lens, and that's what you need to get in the shot to actually get an image. I'm finding it extremely difficult. So we'll be using the C defense, the bobbly wall, and I think this is made out of, it looks like almost like bubble wrap that's been filled with concrete, and then obviously over time the bubble wrap, that, you know, the cloth has worn away and it's left all these little bubbles along the edge of the beach. So it looks pretty good. And I've got one of the big stanchions and then the bridge leading off, and the sun's getting lower and lower. I've got about an hour. I've just broke my watch as well. My watch, as I put my bag on, I snapped my watch for a strap, so I'm going to have to get a new strap for it now. But yeah, I'm starting off with something simple, quite bright. I may come back to this position because I like these bubbles leading out into the bridge. The tide's out, so I can't even get any water because you can't get near it because it's all mud, and you've got no chance of walking on that. So first shot is this, nice and bright in the background, silhouette of the bridge, maybe some cars on the top. I've tried to do a sun star, but the sun's not in the right place for the sun star, so don't look that direction because it's really, really bright. The sky is looking blue. There's not a lot of cloud up there at all, but we may get a little bit of colour. But I'm going to get a wide shot while there is a bit of cloud over that side. So we are out and we're shooting f11, get as much as we can in, silhouette of the bridge, and these bubbles of like concrete bubble wrap leading the way. Looking for something I can use. There's some like old breakwater stumps that I think might work. It's just getting myself in a position to work with. I like this one. This one's sticking up a bit more, and I might be able to use that and maybe the rock in front of it. So again, I'm going to get down low and see if I can just get a wider shot. It's all about being low and just basically working on what I've got at hand. The sun's going to go lower and lower. It's definitely not going to wait for me, so I don't quite know. I came out for a recce, but I just couldn't find anything that I found was working well enough to give me anything special. So unfortunately I'm kind of stuck with what I've got. I'm underexposing just slightly to try and keep the histogram away from the highlights. You never want to overexpose your highlights if you can help it. Keep them down. The bridge is starting to lean in a bit now because it's on the edge of the frame, whereas if I move it over, what I'll do is I've just taken that shot. I'm just going to twist the camera around now and put it on the thirds, get my horizon line level, and that should make it look squarer. But again, it's just not there. It's just not quite there. But I am getting a bit of a sun star, so I could sort of try that. I prefer the edge, actually. I prefer it at a funny angle. I don't mind if it's leaning in. It just looks better because it's the way the image is. I think I might wait for that sun star to be dead sharp. As it drops below the cloud, it's going to give me that little crispy edges on it, which is quite nice. And I've got this little bit of stone. Let me just overexpose so I can see the foreground. I wonder if I can move over a little bit and then almost get like a leading line sort of shot. But like I say, I'm not really feeling it. It's one of these locations where I had it in my head, it was a good idea, but it's just not quite working. But I'm getting a bit of a sun star. It's just adding something to it. And again, it doesn't really matter because I'm out, I'm here, I'm enjoying myself. And that's all that matters. I just like being out with a camera. So I'm really not bothered whether I get a classic masterpiece or not. The pano might be good. If I can set up and do the pano, at least I can shoot across. Maybe that's the key. Maybe go a little bit higher, turn the camera the other way around and try a pano from this position. But we've got to get the tripod exactly level. So let's keep it low. Set me ball in the middle of the circle so my tripod's nice and level. And then I'm going to flip the camera on its side and just try a pano, remembering to put it into manual first because that's very important. So let's flick it around to manual. So take it off of there, put it onto timer T, and then I can adjust my exposure with the wheel. I'm going to leave it on 22 and I'm going to get it nice and level, and I'm just going to try and see what happens. I think it's made the tower straighter anyway, so let's just do it. Let's take it relatively wide, let's creep in a little bit, a bit closer, bring that down so I don't need all the cloud, the sky at the other side. I'm just gonna shoot brackets, expose for I don't know, I'm going to expose a little bit under, but plenty bright enough. Focus on where the sun is, because I need that nice and sharp. And let's just try it. Let's just do a pano sweep. There's one. Come around. There's two. It's all got to be done in manual because the exposure is going to change. The only problem I've got is the cars are going across the top of the bridge, so they'll all be in different positions, so it might struggle with that a little bit, but at least I can get maybe the whole bridge in and see what happens. Again, we've also got that added problem of the foreground being twisted and distorted, so it might be of a pano with a tight crop. But yeah, the sky's gone from being right miserable to almost cloudless. Definitely feeling that this is a very, very difficult thing to photograph. I'm almost tempted now to wait till it goes a bit darker and to see what I get once the light starts coming on. So once you go into blue hour and the light street, it's got street lights all the way down it, I kind of almost think that might be good. And if it does go clear tonight, we're going to have some stars. Now, yes, I've got light pollution to deal with, but that might be an interesting shot. I'm going to walk back up on the top and walk along, see if I can find something that actually works, because at the moment, none of it's floating my boat. We got half an hour before the sun sets. I checked earlier on, I was checking on the photo ephemeris to see what direction the sun was shooting. The sun's very tight on the right hand side, and in the morning it's going to be very tight on the left hand side, so I'm not actually going to get the sun in anywhere, but it might cast some light on any clouds if we get any, so something might happen. So I did have the photo ephemeris out, I had the weather app out, clear outside, I had the tide times out to see what the tide's doing, and like I say, the tide's low, so I haven't really picked the best of days. I just sort of took it by chance, didn't I, really? But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like I say, I'm out, so it's all good. You can't always get the best stuff. I may even get a drone out. What about getting a drone out, flying up in the air? It's calm, so calm and peaceful. That might be a good option, mightn't it? Just get the drone out for a bit and have a quick look at it from the air. So I've had the drone up in the air, as you've probably already seen by the footage, and I was really high, really high, when the battery decided to want to run out. And I managed to get it back down to the ground before it did, which is good. I got it over the land instead of the sea, so I thought if it comes down it's going to land and hit me rather than it land in the sea, so you never know, I could have got the memory card out of it. But yeah, I've put the long lens on, as you can see. I've got the 7300, and I'm just going for them pastels, those pastel-y colours above the second tower, which is, you know, the other side of the river. And yeah, I quite like this. It's really sharp. It looks really sharp on this lens. Trying to keep the tower really straight by just taking the horizon offline slightly. I'm not exactly looking forward to sleeping here tonight because we've got Boy Racer Central. Could be quite a noisy night. So yeah, I like that. I like that as a pastels. I think I'm going to just drop the other side and shoot it coming round the other way with the curl coming in the other way. Just while we've got this pastels in the sky still, and keeping an eye on my van, which is behind me. So I've just screwed the filter ring on the front of the camera, and I'm going to put a 10 stop on and really smooth out all the water. I think that's a nice little option because I've got a bit of reflection, and with 100mm on there, it's gone way out. 10 stop's a bit too big. Let's go 6 stop. We don't really want to go over 30 seconds if we can help it. So we'll try 6. That's giving me 6.5 seconds. Take it up to f14. That's going to give me 10 seconds. So let's give that a go. See if we can smooth the water out a little bit and have the nice pastel soft image. You should actually get the little tiny lights on it as well, which would be quite cool. That's that one done in a vertical, and I also think we ought to try a horizontal as well. Camera's nice and level. F14, you can hear the cars coming over the top, and this one has got another really nice curvature to it, and I'm gonna push the tower right to the edge because I like the curvature rolling through the image, and you're getting a bit of a shadow underneath as well. Focus on the tower in the distance. F14 starting off at a 13 second with your bracket in. Get the words out, Paul. With your bracket in, you're getting them tones in the sky, and it's a beautiful pastel pinks over in the distance, and then you're getting this rich concrete colour underneath. It's quite nice. It's a good contrast between the two, that man-made and that natural colour in the background. And I do like the little lights that are just appearing underneath the bridge, little tiny red spotlights. Yeah, that's not bad. I quite like that. Very angular, I think the word is. So here we go. I'm going to zoom in a bit tighter this time. I'm in at 135mm, which is probably about 180, is it, on a full frame camera? Yeah, it's tighter, but you're still getting them pastel pinks, and it's beautiful. And behind me, I'm not sure if you can see that behind me, it's stunning. So I'm going to flip it around in a sec. I just wanted to get that one that way, and then just see if I can get some angular shapes facing the other direction. And then we're going to wait for the lights to turn on, and maybe get a night shot as well before I go to bed. So they switched the lights on for me now, and I did try and get you a bit of a time lapse of them switching the lights on, but they came on a little bit too quick, so I didn't get a lot of chance of that. I'm now just using the blue hour, a little bit of water reflection, and just making the most of it. It's a shame I can't get right near the water's edge because the actual water on the edge has gone smooth, so you're getting the reflection of the lights in the water. Maybe if I get down on the shoreline, but by doing that it stretches everything, doesn't it? So I think I will. I think I'll get down on the shoreline, and see if I can just make the most of the reflection, because it looks cool with this blue hour and the lights. It just looks different. It looks nice. So I know you can't see me at the moment. I'm in the shadows, I'm in the dark, but I am here. I'm just taking the last few shots and making the most of this really deep blue colour we got in the sky, and the red lights and the white lights, and I'm not getting any traffic in it, which is nice, so it's nice and clean. And I've got this beautiful, beautiful reflection in the bottom of the water now, where the water's gone dead still. I've got in that bit of a curvature as well, but the reflection in the water is stunning. It really is beautiful, and it's almost got an S-curve as well that leads you right through the image. It's in a vertical, but I'm going to crop it probably to a 10:8 because I've got a patch of blue at the top that I don't need. I've been shooting different exposures from f/22s, f/16s, f/8, f/11 just to see which one works best. I've also done ISO 800, ISO 400, ISO 100, 160, that's my lowest. Again, just trying to pick up the best between time, length of exposure, and just trying to get that little star on the lights, because I think that works best. So I'm going to cut it now, and I'll see it at sunrise. Actually, in fact I won't, I'll see it at golden hour before sunrise. No idea what the weather's going to be, but high cloud and pink skies will be stunning. See you in the morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's quite cloudy, considering it said it wasn't going to be that cloudy. There is a small gap on the horizon, which is quite nice. I've got my light in my hand, trying to illuminate myself. So let's just pop that back on the top of my camera. Yeah, it's all right. The camera sees more than what I can see, in all fairness. I've just taken a picture. I thought the first thing I would do is set the camera up and have a look and see what's going on. My eyes aren't working this morning. It seems sharp enough. I'm still getting that reflection, a little bit of reflection of lights on the bottom. Now I've got clouds in the sky, so it's a completely different feel of image. I'm going to try one at f/22 as well. When I'm going to f/22, I'm having to bump my ISO up to sort of 800 just to keep the shutter speeds a little bit lower. Otherwise, it's just ridiculously high. So, we're messing. Whenever I come out and take photographs, I'm kind of messing. I know I know what it is, what's the best, what's the ideal pinnacle situation. The best settings really, I mean for landscape your best settings are f/8 or f/11. They're normally the sharpest you can get on your lens. But like now I want that reflection, I want to try and get some little starbursts, and it has happened this time. I want to get these little starbursts on the lights, so I know to go up to f/22, which shuts the aperture right down, or opens the aperture right up, should I say. No, shuts it down, I know what I'm doing. Shuts it right down, so you're getting a much darker image, so you have to increase your ISO to let that extra light back in. But by doing that, because your blades are closing right down, you're getting these little gaps in the fins, and that's what gives you those little starbursts. And this looks peachy, really nice, better than what it did last night. And last night, for some reason, it just wasn't getting those little stars, I don't think, but they seem brighter this morning. Maybe because it's a little bit darker. Now the cloud is actually as the light gets a bit brighter, it's picking up a little bit. The moon's up there actually. That's quite cool. I wonder if I can get a shot sideways here of the big tower, or a part of it at least, and then get the moon in. I think that's quite nice. I've come to the other side of the bridge purely because I had ordered last night's images going the other way with any light sort of this side. Now the light's on the other side, so I'm thinking, well, if we do get a little bit of colour on the sky, this is the side to be. And it's nice to have the two bridges, one leading one way from the image, one leading the other way from the image, so I think that's going to be okay. So yeah, I'm going to carry on having a look here, and when something interesting happens, I'll switch it back on. That's it really. I don't think anything's going to happen now. The sun's due up any time now. Next 5 minutes. There's too much cloud. It is thinning out a bit. I can see the moon still above. The lights have gone off. It's quite interesting watching the lights come on. I hope last night I got the time lapse of the lights switching on. It was only 2 seconds because they came on quite quickly, and this morning they've gone off literally as I was messing around with my lens. Big chunk of lights went off. I'm not sure whether they're on the time lapse or whether you've seen them already or not. So it's interesting watching the lights go off because they're all on obviously light sensor, PLRs or PIRs, whatever they are. So they're turning off as it gets brighter. But yeah, nothing special, nothing fancy at all really, which is a shame. There was a bit of a gap in the clouds, but yeah, it's just not got through. A little bit of yellow on the horizon. You never know, maybe when it just gets a little bit higher it might pop through the gap and light some cloud maybe, but yeah, I'm not overly hopeful now, but I don't mind. I managed to get myself up. I'm drinking me coffee. I've got my little coffee cup out, and a quick plug to Mimes Reusable. Have a look at these. This is the little Freedom coffee cup, 350ml one. She does lots of reusable cups and she's trying to save the planet, so check out Mimes Reusable. Yeah, there's my little plug for her. Yeah, it's one of these places where, you know, after watching Steve Stain's video, the conditions he had were just insane. Yummy. Yeah, they're just absolutely insane. So consequently, you know, you're always going to see the best image you saw, or the last best image you saw of the place. That's fixed in your mind. So you've got this sort of already a scale to reach. At the meetup yesterday, you know, we were talking a lot of things. We were talking about imagery and your own self-doubt, or you know, your own critique. And it's probably because you've gone to a location because you've seen an image, and that image is probably quite a good image, which is what caught your attention in the first place. So you go to these places and your expectations already high, even though you're trying to put your stamp on it. Your expectations already high, so consequently, you know, you feel like you're a failure. Well, I don't feel like I failed this morning, not at all. I've been up, I've taken images in different areas with different lenses, so I've got to know how it looks through a wide angle, which, great, you're getting it all in, but because of that parallax, your towers are leaning and it doesn't look very good. The long lens on, they seem really sharp and crisp, and you're getting the nice detail of the arch of the suspension, and then your big towers. You can get some nice detail there. And then for me, probably the 1855, because your parallax is a little bit better. But I can't get this tower in, you know, I can only get the far tower in, but you're getting these nice sweeping lines. So I've learnt that, and I've learnt by coming on this side, you get the arc coming round, and then there's a bit of a drip off, as you come off the bridge the other way, you get this slope coming off the other way, and then from the other side you get that sort of arc coming round towards you. So you know, you can see where, and also you've learned that, or I've learned that, you need the water, so you can go slightly wider on your lens. I'm having to zoom in a bit to cut off the nasty looking, muddy, claggy, horrible beach. So I've learned that, you know, you need the water in, so you can go slightly wider, which will give you more of the bridge. So it's not a wasted time being out. There is actually some yellow going on right over in the distance, but it's not going to come this way, not at all. But there is a little tiny little bit of glow on the clouds. But yeah, it's not wasted at all. So different time of year, different time of light. Also the sun. I've also learnt that at this time of year, which is September the 14th, 15th, 16th, where are we on? I don't even know what date we're on. 19th of September, which is our past Queen's funeral day today. So there is actually orange in the sky over there, but it is not going to get over this way, is it? Surely not. Oh God, there's orange up there as well. It just goes to show. Let me just show you. Hang on a minute. I'm going to stop and show you. Yeah, orange in the sky. It's just not. It just goes to show. You know, my idea of it coming through the gap was correct. And I'm on the right side. But if I was on the other side of the bridge, I would have this amazing glow. So I've just learnt something else at this time of year, 19th of September time. The sun's too far around the corner that way for sunrise and too far around the corner that way for sunset, and you probably need to be on the other side of the bridge. So a decent scouting mission the other side would be pretty awesome. Now there's a glimmer, a tiny glimmer of hope that I might get some light on this side. I'm almost going to try a panoramic, okay? This isn't going to work, I don't think, but I'm going to try it purely because I've got some orange glow in there, and if it fails I'll spin it round and get it the other way round. But this is thinking fast to try and get that little bit of redness that's above the tower, and because I'm on the wrong side, it's probably not going to work. So let's see if I can just get this tower in. I can just get it in, but it's not going to be the best of panoramics. It really is not, but I'll try it anyway. So let me just flick it over to manual. Always go to manual for panoramics. Let's get the exposure set right, somewhere around there. I'll take it and just try it. The colour's already going anyway, so it won't hurt to try while I'm talking to you. It just goes to show the speed I can operate as well. You know, it's just flip it round, give it a go, line it up, set it up and go. You just watch that real time. Yeah, it's a shame. You know, like I say, I've learnt that being on the other side of the river this time of the year is probably the best place to be. And you just never know, do you? You never know what you're going to get condition wise. Checked all the apps, said, you know, 55% high cloud, which was pretty good, which meant I've got some high cloud to work with. The sun would normally catch the high cloud. So yeah, you just never know. So they are learning curves. Don't ever think that you've been out and failed, because there's no such thing as an actual failure. It's more a learning curve. You know, you've been out and you've learned something, whether it's the smallest of details, whether it's a position, whether it's a lens, whether it's a setting or anything. You know, you've been out, you've learned, you've picked up something from that morning or that afternoon or that evening, where you know that next time could be better. Now, I'm not very big on the next time type of thing. I tend to do what I'm doing. Time to get up to go to work. It's not today. They've got a special bank holiday. Yeah, I'm waffling, aren't I? Really, I'm waffling. I'm waffling in the hope that any minute now the cloud's going to come rippling across the sky, and I'm going to go, whoa! Look at this! Look at this! Look at this! But it's not going to happen. It is not. It's no way it can breach and get that far across. It'll be too bright by the time it gets that far across. But hey ho, never mind. Right, I think I've rambled and waffled, and this video's turned out long enough. I've come down, I've done sunset. I've got some nice-ish, sort of kind of nice, I think I got a nice image last night with the reflection on. I thought that was really nice, with a little S-curve. I think I've cropped it to a square. I think you've already seen it. Yeah, I'm just still watching this. It's still doing something. It's definitely not the best, prettiest of pictures. Maybe a 16:9, but it is not by any chance the prettiest of pictures. But I can't help myself but take photographs, and that's what I enjoy doing, and talking to you guys. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Always give us that thumbs up. We ramble on and on and on. It does help the algorithms. It does help the channel to move and grow and be seen. And yeah, if you don't know what to comment, as I've always said before, just type in hi, and that's all that I need, and I'll always say hello back. Yeah, if you want to suggest a good time of year for me to be here, if you've got a really nice picture of this place, go on my website, Compton PDphotography, and you know, let me know. Drop us an email and just let me have a look at your images. Go on the LVA group, the Landscape and Vlogtography Adventures group. It's a fantastic Facebook group. Everyone's ever so friendly. We're 6 people short of 1,000 subscribers at the moment, followers at the moment, members. So it'd be nice to get it over that 1K, and yeah, keep it moving. Come on, post your video, be active, ask questions, post anything, you know, anything photography related. Doesn't matter what sort of genre it is. I'm always interested. So yeah, I've definitely waffled on. God, this video is a long one. Ciao for now. See you soon.